Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we're going to be reviewing the F1 laser xTool was kind enough to send out for me here. This is the fastest 2-in-1 laser system that you can get with an infrared beam for 2 watts and a 10-watt diode laser all in one. It's on a Galvo laser, so what that means is it's just a mirror inside there that kind of shimmers back and forth to allow it to engrave super fast. It runs at a speed of 4,000 millimeters per second. It's super cool. xTool sent out a whole bunch of materials we're going to be testing today. So we're going to do a rapid fire of different engravings here because it's super fast, usually a minute or less for most engravings. As you can see, I already did an engraving on the S1 with this cup here. So I'm not going to do another cup today, but we're going to make a coaster with the exact same logo for this cup as our first project, and then we're going to go in and show you just how fast you can get even with like a smaller project than that. We're going to just blow it up as big of a project as we can on a coaster, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Alright you guys, so as you can see, that's project number 1 down. Took just over a minute, probably right at a minute, because I was a little bit slow at clicking stop. I'll do a couple more videos with the timer, but I think you get the point. This is ultra fast here. We'll do just a few more, and then I'm going to show you guys the framing here before we go to the next one. So let me go ahead and pull out one of these business cards here real quick. I'll see you in just a second. Alright you guys, so as you can see, I got this little metal business card out now. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying out this little test file that xTool sent me. It's a little woof. What we're going to do is we're going to just set this right in the center here. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure both the red dot and the blue dot line up here. So we're going to make sure that lines up really quick. That looks pretty good right there. I know you may not be able to see it, but there's basically 2 dots on there. You're gonna move this focus point up and down until the 2 dots click together and overlap one another. I'll show you guys that here later on in the video. But for right now, I got them lined up here, and then we'll be able to engrave. There's also an autofocus that you can type in your material settings, and then this will rise up and down based on that height there. With all that out of the way, I also want to mention that this should be able to do 300 plus materials. You'll be able to do all metals with the infrared. You'll be able to do all sorts of wood, acrylic, and other things with the diode. But keep in mind, clear acrylic is really not going to be that great for what you're wanting to do still with a diode laser. So just keep that in mind as well. But this should be able to do hundreds and hundreds of different materials. So that's super cool. It also has an accuracy of 0.00199 millimeters. I know that's a long thing to spiel out there, but it's super accurate is basically what that comes down to here. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this up in the xTool software here, and I'll show you framing. So the framing on this is really awesome. I also wanted to mention that they also do have a high def resolution up to 1270 dpi. So if you want to do like photos on these, you can do photos as well. So let me go ahead and open up xTool software. We're going to do this framing, and I'm going to show you 2 different modes of framing. There'll be a square mode, and then there'll be an actual outline mode. So hopefully you can see this on camera. If not, I'll try to get a secondary shot of this later on and add it in here for you. So what we're going to do is I've got this all set up in the software here, and then we're going to hit framing. And right now I've got it on a square. So as you can see, this little square completely fills up this card here, and then I can just line this up. You don't have to worry, the beam isn't going to hurt you in framing mode, so you can move that around as you needed. So that's looking pretty good there, but I'm going to stop framing for now, and then I'm going to switch over to outline mode to show you guys that. So outline mode is now on, and you'll see the outline of the actual woof that's going to engrave. So you can make sure it's perfectly on there, and it is lined up perfectly just like the square was. So now that we're done with that, we're going to click processing to start this. And then you'll see how fast this is going to go. It's going to be like 6 seconds. It goes so fast. And a lot of people will do videos with this lid open. I personally want to protect my eyes. I'm going to shut it, so hopefully you guys don't get offended by that. I just want to protect my eyes here. So I'm going to hit start, and then it's ready to process. I'm going to put the lid down just so I can protect my eyes, and that way it doesn't cause flashing in the video as well for anybody who could potentially have a seizure or something. With that said, all I gotta do is hit start and watch how fast this goes. Right at 6 seconds. Maybe 6.5. And right now it's just running the exhaust into the fume extractor. We'll get to that here in just a second. So just in case you couldn't hear me over this, the fume extractor is the thing that just runs right after the device is done. That beep at the end means it's done. It was just collecting excess fumes. But yeah, within 6 seconds, we got this nice scored woof logo. I'll go ahead and throw a photo up so you can see that better. I know I'm kind of far away from the camera right now. But the fact that you can do that in 6 seconds is amazing. And then, as you've seen earlier, we could do a full in-depth engraving within less than a minute on this coaster here. That's just mind-blowing to me that you can do that big of an area. And then, let's see here. I also ran a few other tests too with that same logo for an engraving on one of these business cards here. So I'll throw up another photo of this with that same engraving that we did on the coaster. This one took 46 seconds. I'll go ahead and throw up a time-lapse video so you can see that really quick. Other than that, yeah, pretty much is super fast, ultra fast. This machine is amazing. I'm going to be able to crank out so many different things and designs. The one thing that I did mention just a second ago is the fume extractor. You will want to get one of these. That way you can make it portable. You can bring this to any kind of events. So you can bring like wedding events, craft shows, fairs, all sorts of stuff. I mean, this is the most portable thing ever. If you get yourself a toolbox, you can probably throw it in the toolbox, carry all the parts and pieces all in one. The largest thing that you have is the actual laptop yourself, so just throw that in a bag real quick, and then you'll be good. It's amazing that these machines are almost as small as the laptop is. That's just mind-blowing to me. The other thing that you can do is there is a slide extension. I'll grab that here in just a second. I'm not going to set it up in this video, but for the next video that I do, I'm going to go ahead and find some larger pieces to do on the slide extension. We'll come back to that here in just a second, but while I got all these pieces out, I want to show you guys what all these are. So this is the little cutting bed area. It's kind of like slats. I believe you have to go outwards with it. I'm backwards from this area, but you basically put it on here. You can put your wood or acrylic, your black acrylic or darker acrylic that this can cut. And then it will cut out the pieces and allow it to fall through. That way you don't damage your base plate here. And then the other thing, speaking of the base plate actually pops out here. So let's say I wanted to engrave right onto this table. I could do that just by removing that and then switching it in xTool software to the, let me check what the option is called for that really quick. I'm going to pull that up here. It's called the open plane mode. So open plane mode, you can engrave on like tabletops, any large items. You could actually pick this up, tilt it, and then hold it steady. As long as you got a good steady hand, you can actually tilt this, and they made it so you can do that on purpose. So that's amazing. That's super cool. Then you just pop it back in and you go back to process on base plate when you're ready for the base plate. This right here is the little cover. So once you're done with the laser, you just pop this cover onto the lens in top to protect the lens. And it'll protect it from dust. It also comes with a microfiber cloth. I don't have that on me right now, but if you get dust on there, you'll want to clean your lens off with that and some alcohol. Also, here's this little piece here. You may have seen it in a previous clip that I already put in here for an engraving. But what this does is this is for like batch filing. So you can put these down in the little peg holes here. That way, when you engrave an area, let me get them both tight here real quick. So when you engrave a card, let's go back to like that wolf card here. Let's say I put this in, I hit print, takes 6 seconds for that wolf. Then I can take it, pull it out, put it back in the opposite way to do the back. And then I'll hit process again, hit start, boom, another 6 seconds. You don't have to waste time framing and everything like that because you know it's in the exact right place every time based on where you started that first framing that we showed you. So that's amazing. This all the way around is super cool. Let me go ahead and grab the box for the base plate really quick. And then, like I said, we'll do an unboxing and an actual whole different video on the slide rail base plate here. But let me show you the box real quick. All right, guys, so here is the slide rail box. As you can see, that's exactly what it looks like here on the front. It's basically a big version of one of these here. It will mount onto these screw holes. They've got actual cutout area or little notched areas for it. Screw it down to this base plate. And then when you're printing, the actual unit will slide back and forth as you're printing or cutting. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to take a while to both come up with a real big design and show all of the units and pieces and parts and pieces off of this. So I'll make a whole different video off of this. I promise I'll make a really cool video for that one too. And then the other thing that you can do with this is the RA2 Pro a rotary tool. So you can get that. That will work with this as well. So I'll have to pull that off my S1 machine and maybe do a different video on that. But I think you get the concept of the rotary tool per my last video. It would make something exactly like this. It's basically the exact same thing. It just rotates back and forth as it engraves. Technically, if you get a flat area, you could just lay this cup right in there like that, engrave the flat area, and then it would go through too. But if you want all the way around, obviously you'll want to get a rotary tool for that. So just a heads up on that, that is compatible. You will want to make sure you have the right USB cord for it. There's like a special type of connector they make for the F1 and S1. So just a heads up on that, check that out. But yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and blast through a couple more projects here so you guys can see all of those. And if you have any questions about it, give me some comments down below. I'll go ahead and answer everything that I can. Alright, you guys, so there you have it. That is the F1 laser by xTool. As you can see, we did all of these projects in a matter of mere minutes. As you can see with the metal, I don't have a second one of these to test with, but I couldn't find the correct settings right off the bat for this. So I did it a little bit light, but I'm sure it can do a lot darker than that. So keep that in mind. And with all that said, yeah, the F1 being this small that you can bring to like fairgrounds or weddings, that's awesome. I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this, especially how fast it is. It's going to be my go-to engraving for anything smaller. And then the air purifier, I did forget to mention that it has a pre-filter. The whole unit in here is an actual filter up to that point, and then the pre-filter is on top. This just pops off with these little clips on the side, and you can get that and swap it out. It comes with 2 extra pre-filters as well. And then there's just this hose that connects from the back of the machine to the pre-filter, and then you have an extra hose or an additional hose if you want to point this down like I did here. Don't need it if you don't want to use it. It's just an extra one, so I attached it. The other thing that I want to mention in the next video when we do the slide extension here, it has a work area of 115 by 400 millimeters. So that's going to be awesome. Don't miss that video. That's going to be awesome. I've got something kind of unique planned for that one. And then the other thing that you want to know with like the RA2 Pro, which I don't have here, the rotary tool, it looks like those will do a 90% engrave around on the F1. So just a heads up on that. I don't know if they'll do a full wraparound. I believe it's a 90% wraparound. So keep that in mind as well. Other than that, these projects turned out amazing. Just a matter of mere minutes for all of these different projects. That big of an engraving and that complex of an engraving. If you get less complex or just do scores, like I said, 6 seconds for this one. That is awesome. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. I'll go ahead and answer it for you. And we'll see you guys in the next one.